Scenario: an athlete comes into your office on a Monday. He's complaining of a headache, sensitivity to light, and difficulty concentrating 1 week after his concussion. The patient is clearly symptomatic, but both the athlete and the parents are concerned about the huge football game on Friday night.
Very often the kids will come in and yeah, I've got some symptoms, but I feel okay, doc. I'm okay. We got a big game coming up, or perhaps maybe it's a young lady that has a big competition in her competitive cheerleading or something like that. And so they want to get back in, and we run through all the different symptoms, and all the symptoms do coincide with that of a concussion. The most common symptom will be headaches. They'll get headaches in a variety of different places, depending on how they were hit or the region of the body which they were hit. And there's also a laundry list of other symptoms that can range in terms of sensitivity to light, sensitivity to noises. They can have balance issues, dizziness. A lot of times they'll describe double vision or blurry vision. And they'll certainly have issues with school. And some of the issues that they get aren't seen initially. Most of our calls actually come in on our Mondays and Tuesdays from injuries that happened the previous week. People feel better not doing anything, and school hits like a ton of bricks. So when we start our program for concussion management, we don't just go by helping the individual feel better. I think this needs to be very comprehensive. We've got to make sure that, number one priority, that we check them for their health and safety. Safety-wise, we want to get them back to school. We want to get them back to the schoolwork, but we also have to make sure everything is accommodated for. So we have to get all the teachers on board, and we make sure everything is taken care of for their school accommodations. Structural injuries are easy. You see them on the outside. Cuts and scrapes, bumps and bruises, broken bones. But a functional injury affects the way your brain functions. Things like lights, noises, computer screens, schoolwork. The brain makes them painful because it's trying to get you away from them. And it'll make you tired and dizzy and sleepy and nauseous. The brain's trying to get you to rest and to lay down. So that's when I do letters and emails to make sure all the teachers and coaches know that you have a concussion. Some of them can return to school right away. They can return for full days. Many other ones need half days. Many other ones need accommodations, core classes only. Obviously no PE or sports in the meanwhile, but one of the bigger priorities is to make sure that the schoolwork is accounted for before we start moving into athletics. So we have to get them into 100% of their schoolwork before they return to sports. One of the things I emphasize to the patients is you help your team the best by making sure that you're safe and that you're healthy. And I think that that's really a good way to approach it with an athlete, is tell them, as a good teammate, your job is to make sure that you're 100% better before you go back. If you push yourself through a concussion, it will worsen. One of the analogies I give about a concussion is that this is very much like a crashed computer. If you have a crashed computer and you look at that computer on the outside, it looks normal. There's not any structural problems with that computer, and it's not working right. Concussions are very similar in that fashion, that you don't see anything structurally wrong, but it's just not running as it normally would, and functionally it's just not back up to its normal functional capacity. You have to let it just reset itself.